All right. Hey guys, welcome to Reels and Reviews, where American Malayalees try to review Malayalam movies. I'm Eric.
This is Binu from Texas.
And from Maryland, I'm Josna.
And I'm James.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be reviewing a movie called Puzhu, directed by Ratheena. It's her first time directing a movie. Written by Harshad, Sharfu, and Suhas, starring Mammooty, Parvathy, Vasudev Sajeesh, and Appunni Sasi.
So this movie tells the story of Mammooty, who's actually the lead character. His name is Kutan, and he's a Brahmin. He's a widower. He's an high-ranking police official. And throughout the movie talks about his paranoia about summons out there to get him. And the middle part of the story is, shows us about how he is actually a strict father, how he had a little bit of falling out with his sister. That forms the middle portion of the story. But at the end, his paranoia sort of becomes true, where someone was really out there to get him, and they do get him at the end there.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Mammooty did a great job, showing a lot of the emotion and like how he's like such a strict father, and
you feel bad for the kid also, that
feel
he
bad for
has
the
to be
kid.
in that type of
I
toxic environment, right?
And I think a lot of it has to do with Mammooty, like nonverbal type acting. Like it's a lot to do with like how his expressions and sort of like the silent acting.
Yeah, there's a couple of scenes where he doesn't even like look at Parvathy. Like Parvathy's trying to talk to him as his family, his sister. She's acknowledging him, and he doesn't even look in her direction. He doesn't even say a word. He doesn't even act like she's in the room.
Right.
Especially in the beginning of the movie, you can cut that tension with a knife a lot of times. The way that he kind of interacts with Parvathy, her husband, sometimes even with his son.
So I think that was actually pretty good. Job. Like those moments where they show his son like kind of grabbing for like a knife, like when his father turns away, to be like, I'm gonna, I really hate this guy, like you could feel the hate. It was good.
Yeah. And actually, speaking of his son, Kitchu, the actor that played Kitchu, he did an awesome job. Especially being a child, portraying so many different emotions, his frustration with his dad, and kind of how his expression toward his dad changes throughout the movie too. Just how he expresses that, it's really amazing, I thought.
What did you guys think about like how they tried to, well, at least my first time watching the movie, I felt like the ending was kind of like a came out of nowhere type of deal. What did you guys think?
Technically, if you look at it, the story, it's actually there is a play that's actually being was led by Kuttappan. He's actually the brother-in-law of Mammooty. He's actually narrating a play sort of throughout the movie, and that actually the story goes in parallel with Mammooty's life. And he talks about a cruel and a disrespectful king, and all the traits that king actually resembles with Mammooty. The lead character. Is about he actually this cruel king. So there's this devil or his death angel sort of wants to get him, and this king goes far away and builds a castle, like a very protective. With the most amazing firewalls and all that, he actually creates a castle. But this death angel comes in the form of a Puzhu and gets him at the end. But as little as a little worm, and he somehow passes the castle and he gets to him and he gets him at the end. So that actually formed the crux of the story. If you see that, that's actually in parallel with the Mammooty's life as well.
Just real quick, like how many times did you guys watch the movie?
We actually,
so initially we were very confused about the nadagam that was kind of interspersed throughout the movie. We just thought it was just some random background thing that they
that's what I thought. I was all like confused.
So the first time we watched the movie, we didn't really understand the ending because like we just thought it was totally random and we didn't really know how it applied. But rewatching the movie, we actually paused and actually watched the nadagam and actually listened to kind of background scenes and things like that. And we picked up that the Nadagam is actually kind of representative of Mammooty and his life. And how there are various people that could potentially be trying to kill him. And at the end, it turns out that the killer is actually this kind of negligible worker in his building that is barely really addressed throughout the movie. So so if you we actually had to pause and rewind quite a few times to kind of get that story. So and it was completely missed initially. So
and I think you guys saying that bit of information made it more of a beautiful kind of story, for looking back. It's like it all kind of goes together because it's like parallel with each other,
Right.
I didn't get
What
that.
were your thoughts after you watched it the first time?
First time, what did you think?
First time, I didn't, just like Josu said, I didn't really understand. I was like, why does it name Puru? Like, I mean, I'm like, is it because it's like we see Puru as like a disgusting thing, or is that was my thought, So until like you said, like you got to keep watching it, and then like that drama that he put up in place in there is what is basically what's happening in the movie. So the only thing that's what I thought, it was like that was one of the, I would say, something that is lacking. I thought it was because of that reason, because the killer and that story about the killer doesn't come until the end. We don't have any clues or anything like that till the end, I thought. So I feel like if they would explain a little bit more about that killer's side of the story, why is he killing Mammooty in the movie, and it was just like probably for like what, a few minutes or something. It just went really fast.
It came out of nowhere initially.
He did explain it at the end, but it was very kind of rushed through. Like he didn't. We actually had to pause and rewind a couple of that explanation as well, because he was talking so quickly and kind of rushing through his explanation for why he wants to kill Mammooty or what happened to his life. We missed a lot of that explanation. Because there's this part where he talks about his brother and his mother and how his mother died, and all of that we completely missed. Just because it was so rushed at the end. So I feel like it could have been explained a little bit better prior to just that killing scene. But but
the highlight definitely Mammooty's acting, right? Like the highlight was Mammooty's acting. And also,
that's what I originally thought the Puru was referencing, was like his like mind state of being like, it's like he's like got this elitism kind of mentality, like maybe that was, and it's a disgusting type thing, and a Puru think of disgusting stuff. I don't know.
But there was another.
But I was
meaning
clearly
to that.
wrong.
Then also like there's a big social issue, right? And it's still going on, like the caste and so
casteism.
So definitely they highlighted that, something to think about, right, for everybody, So what did you guys think about that?
It's definitely was addressed. A lot of societal issues was addressed in the movie. I think the creators did put a lot of thought into it, how a lot of the hierarchy was addressed. And they actually made it really evident and clear. So that's why they had to represent it in a really slow, repetitive fashion to actually insert that point. So Mammooty is this character, and their hierarchy as like him being an authoritative government official, that he's putting pressure on his finance, the dealings, and as a dad and as a brother, and how he's actually using his power to establish a power on others.
He ruined a lot of people's life, basically.
Exactly.
A lot of innocent people's lives. They did a good job of,
even his own family, like spoiler alert, he kills his sister. And
I was actually trying to get there. So what do you guys think about him actually killing the sister and her husband?
I thought that was
did that come out of nowhere, or was it?
I think after, because we had talked, we all kind of sort of talked about the plot of the movie before, and when you talked about the like how they were planning to name their baby, And that was sort of like a trigger in Mammooty's mind of like, oh man, well, definitely, can't have
definitely
this.
want to see that shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the killing of the sister. Like, that I didn't think that was gonna happen. I just, it was.
You thought it was just gonna be the husband?
Yes. But then
Yeah.
it just the hate in him, like don't see any relationship.
The whole thing was just
love.
to drive home the point that he is so into this mindset that he can't even accept even his own family, a pregnant sister. He's still exactly it's not acceptable.
And the initial reason he even came to visit his sister was to kind of, he was kind of thinking about kind of resolving things with her, but he was on that cusp where he was like, oh, I'll resolve things with her if maybe her future child can come live with us, with our family, with our
But she said the perfect thing though, like
and I really loved it.
Yeah, like why do we need, or why should we change? Maybe, or no, why should others change? Why change others? You focus changing on yourself.
On yourself.
I think that was pretty impactful.
And it's very relevant too. Yeah, it's a good message, I think.
And I think if you look at those scenes, that got to him a little bit when she explained that part.
Yeah.
And it's after that actually Kuttapan comes in and tells us, and as he walks through, how shows the excitement about the baby. And the moment he tells what he wants to name the baby,
that just pushes him over the edge.
Oh, he just pushed him over that cliff, and he's like,
Yeah, I think looking back, it was a good movie. I mean, I liked everything about it because it's sort of like a character drama, like a character study of like this whole like Mammooty's character. Like I think it was really well acted.
Yeah, it's like intense actually when you think about it. Like the character itself is like you got to go through a lot of emotions.
Yes.
Yeah, but then.
Well, what do you think about that? They actually do show the relationship between Appunni Sasi and Parvathy, like Parvathy.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think about their relationship?
I think that's a beautiful, great relationship.
I think it's like a total opposite of what Mammooty's and his wife. What was up that video? They kept watching that.
I mean, he basically lives in a prison. Like he can't.
He's
think
trapped in the
outside
past.
Of the box,
He's basically trapped in the past.
Yeah,
is what it
and he can't think
like.
outside of the box.
I think in the video also he always cut it off at a certain point.
Yeah.
So it showed, in my mind, it showed two things. One, in the video, the tail end of the video that he never shows, his sister's at that video back before when they were good, when they were happy. Like she's in that video, she picks up Kitchu. Like
they take a picture.
They take a picture together. So it kind of represents like their old relationship that's no longer. So I think that's why he kind of stops it there. But the other thing is like Kitchu's sitting on the ground crying, and it also shows like the sternness of Mammooty, like where he's like
stubborn, right?
Yeah, where the Kitchu's crying and his mom's about to go pick him up, and Mammooty's like, no, don't pick him up, leave him there, kind of thing. So I thought it was an interesting that was in the video.
Right. Did you guys feel that there was anything like left unresolved in the movie?
The land dealings or the real estate dealings between with his friends or whatever was built up there. Yeah. So there were constant talk about whatever they were going to deal with it, and all of a sudden it just like disappeared. It was no longer part of the story. They just went away, and it just became all about his paranoia about someone's after him, and it just became they just focused on that.
So I think that's what they are trying to probably portray in that through the scenes. I think
Yeah, I think they were part of it. Established character, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, they just introduced these people in the beginning. We thought it was going to be a big deal. So we're, doing the pausing and rewinding thing the second time around. So we're trying to see if that's relevant. And it was still not very relevant at all, like the dealings with these guys at the beginning. Yeah. They really could have cut out that scene.
I think they could have replaced that with a little bit more about like the, the kid in the end that ended up killing Mammooty, like more about their backstory. Like lay the groundwork early on.
Yeah, but there were so many like that he ruined also. So maybe that's why they didn't want to. That's what I think. They
touched on it though. I feel like they could have touched on it a little earlier. They could have done revealing that Amr is the son of the pharmacist.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that was something I would improve upon in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're kind of almost at the end of our video. So how about we end with like a rating? What do you guys, if you were to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being best, 1 being absolute trash, what would you rate it?
So let's start from you guys. So what do you guys think?
I would, because the first time I think I was gonna give it 3.5, but then after like we talked about it and explained it better, I think I'm gonna give it 4, because I do think, yeah. So I do think there is a good. They did talk about the social issues that we have. Mammooty's acting definitely is the highlight. So certain things, the only thing is like, I just think that sometimes this movie, like you had to watch it twice to understand, I think, because every movie watcher is not going to watch it twice. It's just a one-time thing. And then,
right.
So that's the only thing. That's the only reason. And it's also the first movie of Ratheena. So I had to, like, she tried to explain a lot of stuff, but still I think that's the little things I'm missing that made me give 4.
Yeah, okay. I would say the same thing. I mean, I think it was very, very well acted, in my opinion. It's a very tough movie to watch more than once, but yet you kind of need to watch it more than once to sort of catch all those little details. Because I definitely didn't catch it. I only got it after you guys, sort of filled me in on on what you found the second time through. So I think a 4 out of 5 is probably what I would give. How about you guys?
I think, I agree with you, both of y'all. 4 out of 5. It was well acted. I think aside from Mammooty, I think,
Parvathy's acting?
Parvathy's acting was amazing.
That's true, yeah.
This is a different role from what she's played before. So
that's true.
In the past movies that I've seen her, she's always been like the hip and
party girl,
DJ, party girl,
trendy,
like those kind of roles. So she's a little bit more laid back, like a housewife, still progressive, but a different type of role. So it shows the versatility with her as well. And I think her husband, the character in the movie, did an awesome job, as well as Mammooty and Kitchu.
Yeah.
And of course, like, I like that it has kind of a parallelism between the Nadagam and Mammooty's life. I thought it was very kind of representative of Mammooty and the whole storyline. And I feel like that's where the 1 point goes away. I feel like that could have been clarified a little bit more, just like what y'all were saying.
Right.
They could have made it a little bit more clearer, instead of having it be like kind of background scenes. They could have talked about that Nadagam a little bit more, so that people can understand it a little bit better, and also just clarify the Amr, the killer's kind of past story a little bit better. I think that's where it went missing a little bit for me.
Yeah.
But 4 out of 5, still overall really good movie.
Yeah. James?
I gave it, initially I just gave it 2 out of 5. I know, sorry. Man. Yeah.
Jeez.
It was tough because
so mad at you, man.
Yeah, like the slow pace of the movie and overall, we just, like, as alluding to what Binu was saying, we had to watch it twice to get to understand the full picture, what the writers or the creators were trying to portray, or in the movie. So all of that put together and the effort that it took, I'll definitely bump it up to 3. And now that I understand the movie, that both the story or the one-man show or the Broadway show that the Kuttappan was staging, and the story in itself had a real good resemblance, or they were going in parallel. So for that, I definitely bump it up to 3. And also kudos to Ratheena for her first debut movie. She did a great job. A lot of tough, sensitive issues, and she put it all together. I mean, a big shout out to her. So overall, it's like 3.75 out of 5.
Yeah, that's right.
I still would recommend watch it at least once, maybe slowly.
Yeah.
Or
you can't do anything else when you watch this.
You gotta
pay
full
attention.
focus.
Don't get on your phone playing, because you'll miss a lot of the movie.
Can't be on Instagram like Binu watching.
Okay.
All right, guys. So thanks for watching. And if you like the video, please give it a like. Also, click the subscribe button and click the little bell for the notifications as well. And please,
if you have any other opinions about the movie that we would like to know,
leave your comments down below.
Any recommendations, suggestions for our channel as well?
Yes, and be nice, please.
Okay.
All right.
We'll come up with another one soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.